This is Russell Hawley coming to you from the Tate Geological Museum at Casper College, and today I'm going to tell you about my favorite dinosaur, which is Camarasaurus. And Camarasaurus is one of the sauropods, that is to say, dinosaurs that have four legs and long necks that eat plants. And Camarasaurus was the most abundant of these sauropods. In fact, it was the most abundant dinosaur in Wyoming at the end of the Jurassic period, about 150 million years ago. And here's a model of Camarasaurus. And by the way, this is just about the only commercially available plastic model of Camarasaurus that's out there. This is part of the reason that it's my favorite dinosaur, even though it's so abundant, and even though it's known from a couple of complete or almost complete skeletons, it gets very little publicity. It's only been on the cover of one or two dinosaur books. It didn't even get a cameo appearance in Jurassic Park. And as I said, there's only one model of it. So maybe it's my fondness for the underdog that makes this my favorite dinosaur. But at any rate, this does serve to illustrate the differences between Camarasaurus and the more commonly known, the more well-known Brontosaurus. Brontosaurus has short arms and long legs, which gives it a humpback profile, something like the Sinclair logo, whereas in Camarasaurus, the limbs are very closer to the same length, and that gives it more of a flat back. Also, the Camarasaurus has a shorter tail. It doesn't have that long, thin whiplash extension that you see in Brontosaurus and Apatosaurus and Diplodocus. And perhaps the biggest difference of all is in the shape of the head. Brontosaurus has a long, low, triangular head with a cluster of pencil-like teeth in the very tip of the ends of the jaws. Camarasaurus is quite different. Here's a skull of a Camarasaurus right behind me. This is the eye socket right there. Very large eyes, good for spotting an approaching predator from quite some distance away. And then a truly gigantic nasal opening. This big hole right in front of the eye and kind of above and in between the eyes there, that's the nose. And finally, the teeth are very different as well. And unlike the slender pencil-like teeth that we see in Brontosaurus, Camarasaurus has these big, strong, spoon-shaped teeth. And this is a good shape of tooth for chopping leaves off of tree branches. The Brontosaurus may have been a pickier feeder, going for cones and tender young shoots and things, and Camarasaurus might have been more of a wholesale muncher, just going after lots of vegetation indiscriminately and just chopping it off, twigs and all, with these spoon-shaped teeth. The other fossil that I've got here is one of the claws that goes in the Camarasaurus's hind foot. How do we know it's a claw? Well, do you remember this? Oh yes, the blood groove that would have brought nutrients to the surrounding toenail that originally covered this in life. So even though it's a plant eater, getting kicked by this would have been no fun at all, and this might have been a way that it could discourage attacking predators.